So next week, the theme for the Quest Wednesdays is the myth of good and bad gays, the myth of good and bad gays. And I'm wondering, yeah, what comes up for you when you hear that?
This was a really interesting one, Ade. I know this was a theme suggested by someone, one of our community, actually, and it really got me thinking. I mean, I'm aware of that myth. I'm aware of the notion of a myth, but it doesn't really resonate for me. I don't carry thoughts around, feelings around the myths, to be honest. So, I mean, I could talk about it, which is when I think about the good gay, the bad gay, which I associate with the good gay would be presentable, respectable, conventional. And the words that I often think are associated to the bad gay are hedonistic, frivolous, promiscuous. Um, and I think that notion in at its core, it's a shame-based notion. It's born out of feeling ashamed of difference, actually. And I've always really loved the element of being gay, which is the kind of queer element, the disruptive, the transgressive. I like that. I mean, I like to be around people like that, and I like to see films and programs where people are that. So I kind of like the bad gay. I don't think of it as bad, but I kind of like all that. And sometimes if I'm really honest with myself, I can be judgmental to what is considered the good gays, the ones that are trying to, present, assimilate, present like we're as good as straight people, we can get married, we can have the same lifestyle as a typical straight person. I sometimes can feel myself moving into judgment with people that want that, actually, which is my something I have to tackle with, because it kind of feels apologetic, and it feels like its essence there's some shame around it. So those were my initial thoughts, actually. I'm really interested in the theme. What do you think?
Um, yeah, the first time I heard it was in a Quest program, actually. I remember someone saying, I don't feel like I'm a good gay. And I remember really being struck by it. And I think when I paused long enough to think about it, it was something I really recognized. I think it was an undercurrent in terms of many of my behaviors when I first came out. So I wanted to be an acceptable gay. So in my mind, the acceptable gay is someone who is, and this is all a myth, this is what I was carrying around at the time. So young is definitely one. Fit, like with a six pack, thin, great job, has money, is definitely in a relationship, is not HIV positive, um, is has no issues, like has no issues, and that was my notion of the good gay. And when I think back to the relationship I had with my mother when she was alive and family members, I noticed that I was somehow trying to show them that I was a good gay. I'm not like those gays over there that you've read about in all those magazines, the kind of gay that people talk about in church. I'm gonna show you that I'm this really amazing gay, and by being this amazing good gay, I'm gonna be accepted, I'm going to be loved. And I think for me, what's beneath the surface is this longing for connection, this longing for love, this longing for acceptance. And so the way it shows up now is sometimes if I'm in a gay setting, so say I go to a gay bar, I can feel that I can go into that space of, oh, I'm not a good, acceptable gay because I don't have my six pack. I'm not cute in the way people define cute. I'm not young in that sense. And sometimes it's just this internal dialogue. It's got nothing to do with the reality at all. But it's this narrative that's been there for a really, really long time that shows up from time to time.
Wow. I love listening to you because it really helps me to get some clarity and some finer distinctions, actually. And I think that's what we hope for in the Quest Wednesdays when people come, that by listening to each other, we leave with a richer sense. And perhaps for me, a less judgmental sense of those people that wanted to be that good gay in this case. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that space.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very rich exploration, like many of the themes that we explore at the Quest Wednesday.